My first question was just to ask all of you, broadly speaking, how well do you think companies are doing today at assessing corporate culture? Because we see a steady stream of what I call blow up stories in the media where employees at company X are suddenly complaining about a toxic culture that has lasted for years, or there's a regulator who's taking action against the company for that. And I won't name specific names, but there is a large video game company out there at the moment that just had this happen to them. Those of you who play Warcraft or Call of Duty, you know who I'm talking about. But the allegations against the company are quite serious, that there was a sexual harassing company culture that went on for years. And now the regulators are involved. It's a big blow up on social media. It's a big blow up with the customer base. So all of that suggests to me that we're actually not that good at assessing corporate culture. And maybe it is specific offenders. Maybe a lot of companies are. I don't know. So, Kim, I'll start with you, and then maybe Chris and Gio. What are your thoughts about how are corporations doing these days? How much of a struggle is it to try and get a good read on what the corporate culture really is?
And I'm going to give you that really awesome legal answer that everyone loves to hear from lawyers. It depends. Yeah, no, I actually think it's company specific. I think some companies are really good at it, and I think some companies are obviously not. And I think it has to do with your culture generally, in terms of how collaborative are you, how open are you with your employees and your manager, not just like the tone from the top stuff, but middle, first line managers, how team oriented is everyone? Are you listening to your employees? And I think that it really varies from company to company. What I do think is a trend, and that is true, is that companies really need to get, that aren't doing it so well, really need to get a handle on it, because these kinds of stories, I think with the advent of social media and just how quickly the news cycle takes off, we're hearing about a lot of this more than maybe we used to in real time. And so I feel like it really behooves companies to pay more attention to this than they maybe did 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Chris, what do you think?
I mean, everything that Kim said, I agree completely with. I think it's also, companies and their ability to clearly define roles and responsibilities. So, with COVID, we had a major shift, right, from brick and mortar to virtual world. And, I know myself, when you go to the office, you get up, you drive to the office, you do your work, and then you come home, and that's an X amount of number of hours in the day. But now you wake up, you walk over to your computer, and then you're on, until whenever. So there's a work-life balance with that aspect. But with the roles and responsibilities, things change. So, when you first get hired, there's a certain set of things that you're being asked to do, but with different budget constraints, resources, change in strategies, you do a lot more. So that becomes potentially a challenge, and then it's a time management issue. And then you become, well, why is this person able to do things and I can't? And then there's the compensation aspect. So once you get past the roles and responsibilities, and it's resources, what's available to your employees to help manage these things. And then it comes down to empowerment. Are they able to, speak up? Do they feel comfortable with going to people to ask questions, to brainstorm? And a lot of this, I guess, visibility comes through training, communications, and how effective that is really depends on how good the culture is going to be, in my mind.
Mm-hmm.